District 3141 is one of the premier Rotary districts around the world, doing amazing work for the community. Rotary Year 2021 is a vision year with District Governor Sunil Mehra at the helm of affairs, wherein many new initiatives have been introduced to create a difference and make Rotary seen. There's a Givers Gain project to generate funds out of waste, which will be used to fund Rotary Foundation for various humanitarian projects. Under the Over is another initiative to beautify Mumbai and create utility spaces below all flyovers in Mumbai. Lots of efforts are also going on towards literacy, malnutrition, health, sanitation, and other verticals. Viz Biz Talks is one more initiative, a novel concept in the vision year with an ideology to support Rotarians to support Rotary. Viz Biz Talks is also to create more bonding and proximity amongst Rotarians on personal, Rotary, and professional fronts. In these interviews, we speak to visionary Rotarians who, by virtue of the selfless work towards the community, have reached important decisive positions, and their actions today will help Rotary to serve more and make a difference to the community. I'm Dr. Manish Motwani, a bariatric surgeon, that's a weight loss surgeon. I'll be your host on the Viz Biz Talks. Friends, this is a very special day for me as a Rotarian. I have the opportunity to interview a person who's an institution in himself and whom I have idolized for a very long time. People have known him as a person who leads with an example and one person who is most passionate for the Rotary Foundation. A die-hard positive person who demonstrates honesty, integrity, and trust in all actions to establish credibility in all his endeavors. Yes, friends, he is none other than our very own TRF trustee and past district governor, Rotary Gulam Vahanvaty from the illustrious Rotary Club of Bombay. He has a postgraduate diploma in management from IIM Calcutta. He was invited to join the Tata Administrative Services, which in its heydays was the finest administrative service in India, where only the best and the brightest were selected and groomed for high office. He was the district governor in 2002-03 of the Unified District 3140, training leader twice, Rotary Regional Foundation Coordinator, Chairman of RIS Communication Committee, Chairman of TRF's Alumni Advisory Committee, member of the critically important TRF Future Vision Committee, and member of TRF Peace Centers Committee. A major donor, he is a recipient of RIS Service Above Self Award and TRF Citation of Meritorious Service and Distinguished Service Award. He is a member of the governing board of Mumbai First, a high-powered group of citizens committed to improve the quality of life in Mumbai. Trustee of Mohalla Committee Movement Trust and Public Concern for Government Trust. He is currently a committee member and steward of Royal Western India Turf Club Limited, that is the RWITC friends. Hasina, spouse and the love of his life, passed into the ages of New Year's Day in 2015. Everybody who knew her knew also that Gulam was blessed to have such a life partner. For all in District 3141 and Rotary World, he is known to be an efficient, organized, observant, decisive, persistent, passionate, and an extremely friendly human being. I have been a huge fan of his and have idolized him since many years. For me, Gulamji is a man of commitment, man of ethics, and epitome of sincerity. With this small introduction, friends, I have the pleasure to present before all of you our Foundation Trustee 2018-22, Rotarian Gulam Vahanvaty.
Manish, thank you for those very kind and gracious words. Indeed, they are kind, and I don't know about the idolizing, but I'm very grateful for the respect that you and several of my fellow Rotarians have. Thank you very much.
Sir, it was straight from the heart.
Thank you.
Gulamji, we have known you since so many years. We have been idolizing you in Rotary, so much about Rotary, but we would like to know something about your personal life too.
So I think it would be nice to know a little bit about my antecedents, my background. Manish, my family comes from a small town in Gujarat, in a small town called Bagasra, which is near Rajkot. And 5 generations ago, my great-great-great-great-grandfather moved into Mumbai in the late 1800s. So we're talking about 1870 or 1880. When he came to Mumbai penniless, trying to make out his career and fortune in this, even then it was like the the Mecca of making money. And so he came here, and over time, he and his family established themselves. I was born in Mumbai, and I'm a Pakka Mumbaikar. So yes, I'm truly proud of the city that I live in, and I really wish that I can give back as much as the city has given to me. My father established, part of the family business was ship breaking and scrap processing, and my father continued that business. And my mother, of course, to me, somehow someone plays a very important role in one's life. And while I truly love and respect my father, I owe my education to my mother. My mother was not very educated. She, I think, studied till the 6th. But she was determined that her children, all her 3 children, I have one brother and one sister, were given the best education that one could have. So my mother was truly a force. She was very religious, mind you, but she was also a very forward-looking, spoke great English. And so I've learned a lot from her. As I said, I have one brother, one sister. In 1970, I married Hasina. And I must tell you that I met Hasina in 1962 in Kashmir. And, we've known each other since till the day she passed away. So it was a very long time that we were close friends. We got engaged, got married, have children. I have a son, Zamir, who's in business with me. He's a Rotarian. My daughter-in-law, Khatija, and my granddaughter, Sumaira, stay with me. We're staying in Mumbai together. My daughter, Zahabia, is married to Satpal Branch. They live just outside of New York City. And I have 2 grandsons, Rishan and Jayan. That's my family, Manish.
That's so nice to know so much about you, which we were not knowing before, sir. You've had an illustrious professional career. Can you let us know something about your education and the start of your professional life?
Sure, Manish. And as I said, my mother made sure that I had, and my brother and sister had the best education that they could afford and that was needed. So I was admitted to St. Mary's High School, which at that time was recognized as one of the best schools in Mumbai. I passed out in 1964 with my senior Cambridge or ICSE. I joined St. Xavier's College in 1965. And I was in Xavier's for 3 years because I did ICSE, I was admitted into InterScience straight away. In 1968, I graduated with a BSc. And fortunately for me, I had applied for IIM and I was not selected for Ahmedabad, but I did get my selection for IIM Calcutta. And of course, I joined IIMC. I must tell you that during my college days, I was very keen on getting involved in student life. And I was a member of the Students' Union Council for 3 years. In my last year, I was elected the first student chairman of the council. Earlier, the principal used to be the chairman. That year, they made a change and they had an election for the student chairman. And my fellow colleagues in the Students' Union Council thought it fit to elect me as the chairman. And I was very proud to be the chairman of the Students' Union Council. So in 1968, I went to the IIM Kolkata. I grew up there. When you have a sheltered life in Mumbai, you stay with your parents, everything is taken care of, and then you go off to a hostel where literally the melting pot of India, everybody, we were 200 students, 100 in 1 year and 100 in the second year. And we came from all over the country. And truly a great learning for me. And I am so happy that I was able to spend 2 years in that great institution. After that, and again, fortunately, even before I graduated, IIMC had a very strong placement center. And I was selected for the Tata Administrative Service. That's where I began my career. I joined, as you said, you said something about the TAS or the Tata Administrative Service. So I won't repeat that. But I was there from 1970 till 1975.
So this has been a great journey, sir. And how and when did you join your family business?
So again, I think in late 74, Manish, my father was unwell. And, at that time, cardiac arrest didn't have the angioplasties and the, even that time, it was very rare to have a bypass surgery. And so I was the eldest in the family, and I thought that the business needed someone full-time along with my father. So I went to the TAS administrators and I told them I had to resign. And they asked me why I wanted to resign, and I told them. So this gentleman who was in charge said, no, I want to talk to your mother. So he called my mother to actually find out why I was leaving. Was I getting another job? So when my mother told him, they gave me a lien for 1 year that I could come back after 1 year. And my father died 6 months after I left Tata's in 1974, November. And it is the greatness of Tata's that senior people came to pay their condolences. And then within a month of that, I got an extension for another year. So I was on lien for 2 years, but then once you're in business, you never go back. And that business was scrap processing and shipbreaking.
So you have been a staunch foundation supporter. What prompted you to do so much for the Rotary Foundation?
Again, I think this is an interesting anecdote which I must share, Manish. I hope time permits us. I could.
Yes, we have all the time.
On a Sunday, I remember this very clearly. I was reading the Times of India, and there was this ad. It said that young men between the ages of 25 and 35 may please apply if they wish to go on an exchange program to the United States of America and Indiana, USA on a Rotary group study exchange program. So I asked Hasina, I said, you think I should apply? So, she tells me, yeah, why not? I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You won't get selected. And so I did apply. I was selected. I went as a GSE team member. And mind you, I didn't know very much about Rotary. And I speak about this at all wherever I am, that the information that I gathered as a member of the GSE team by visiting Indiana, USA, staying with Rotarian families, learning about what the foundation and Rotary do for the rest of the world, not so much for their own communities, just made me a completely committed fan, if I may call it, or a total person who was absolutely enamored with the Rotary Foundation. I came back, and after those 6 weeks, I came back to India. I even hosted 2 students of the GSE even before I became a Rotarian. In 1979, I joined Rotary, and I have never, ever not been a supporter of the Rotary Foundation. Come what may, as president, as a Rotarian, as president, as governor, and then, all the other things that happened in Rotary, my love for the foundation has never weakened. And I'll tell you another thing, the important reason, Manish, is that don't forget, you and I are contributors to the foundation. It's our money that is used to do the great work that we do. And one of the things that I've realized is that 99.9% of our Rotarians uphold the highest standards of integrity. And to me, the foundation is an epitome of how funds should be managed for the good of the community in which you're doing the work. So that's how my commitment to the foundation remains total.
Very strong words, sir, and something that this is a strong take-home message for me too, and some thoughts to ponder on, because as a chief coordinator of District 3141, this can be one example which I could be giving to so many people in the district. And you know how people consider you in District 3141 and other districts too. And this example when it comes out, this will definitely change the way many people think about foundation.
Thank you, Manish.
So you are the foundation trustee, and you have been credited with various important decisions taken by Rotary Foundation. Let us know something about how the decisions are taken with regards to spending by the foundation, and what are your plans to increase foundation giving?
So let me give you a brief background, Manish. I think it's important that people know it, and I've been asked this question often, so I'd like to clarify. There are 15 trustees in the Rotary Foundation. These are from all over the world. Trustees are selected and then elected by the board. So they try to ensure that there is representation from all parts of the world. And I have colleagues from the United States, from Europe, from the Far East, from Taiwan, from South Korea, and I am very proud to represent India. I am the only trustee from India today. So, among the 15 trustees, there are 4 past presidents. So as the president demits his office, so for example, Mark Maloney finished his term as president in June 2019. Now he has one fallow year. So 1920, he is asked to relax. But in July 21, he will be inducted as a trustee of the Rotary Foundation. And when he is inducted, the current chairman of the trustees, as Ravindran, who was a past president, will leave the foundation. They leave the trustees. So at any point of time, there are 4 past presidents, and the senior most of them becomes the chairman of the Rotary Foundation. Now, we discuss a lot of things. You asked me about the programs, Manish. Many important issues. We have an agenda that's been given to us in advance. If I want to suggest an item, I can give an item for the agenda. And the trustees discuss everything in great detail. And let me give you one specific example so that it becomes a little clearer. Take for instance, this World Fund match that is no longer given to the cash contributions. Critical decision, right? So let me give you a background. Where does the World Fund come from? It comes from an annual fund giving. Annual fund is the backbone of our Rotary Foundation work for today. And therefore, we have noticed that immediately after the year of our centenary, 1516, year after year, the annual fund has come down. And each year we were given a warning. The trustees were given, we get a template, we get a chart, we get a whole presentation on where this is going to lead to and how constrained our global grant matching is going to become. Now we were aware of it. We dipped into our reserves for 1 year. We dipped into our reserves for the 2nd year, and yet the annual fund kept coming down. Finally, at the beginning of 1920, we were given no option but to consider all the probabilities. And we were clearly, it was put before us that this had to be a year when a tough decision was made. And so they gave us many alternatives. The trustees discussed many alternatives. Should we adjust the polio fund? You know, the World Fund is matching polio fund contributions on DDA. And I said, no, because that gets a double match from the Bill and Melinda Gates. Similarly, we really considered every alternative, but finally found that the only decision that we could really take was the decision to stop the matching World Fund match to the cash contributions. I hope this is temporary. We are trying our very best to ensure that this annual fund comes back to an even stream. And just to give you an idea, when there is no critical decision, we vote by voice. Every decision is a voice vote. There has to be a vote. But if it is a critical decision, then the chairman says, no, we will vote by secret ballot. And then we have a digital vote to ensure that no one is pressurized to vote in the way that would say open. So I don't want to be known for what I'm voting for. So there's a secret ballot.
So we have been very clearly understanding the situation of the foundation. In fact, Giver's Gain is Sunil's pet project, and I'm driving this project in the entire district 3141. I've been addressing every club, and this is one question, this is one point which I make in every meeting that I'm conducting, is we have been net receivers since so many years. Finally, it's our money which is going to come back to us in the foundation. And so there is one small habit that has come into the Rotarians is, okay, how much will you give me? I will, it's like give and take. It has become like you give money for the project and the foundation gives you. So it's become a give and take. And that is the reason the annual fund has been depleting year after year. And I was the chief coordinator for Arch Clum Society 2 years back, where we had 18 Arch Clum Society members. We've been trying our best that it should not be by bargain, it should be simple giving to the annual funds. And that is the reason this Giver's Gain, sir, is going to lead us in a very big manner. Just to tell you today, whilst I'm speaking to you, you know about Giver's Gain project. It has the recyclable, refurbishable and reusable contents. We have already finished 157 pickups under the recyclable. In the coming week, we are coming up with refurbishable givings. These small givings by Rotarians, which will be converted probably into foundation giving of each person, might change the way how people give towards the foundation. Possibly, I'm pretty sure that we will be able to make our district as a EREY or a PHF district, which will be direct giving to annual funds. These small initiatives, sir, are there from our side because we understand the constraints that you all have, and what you all have gone through before taking this strong decision is also known to us. So absolutely, there is so much of clarity and transparency, and when we know a person like you is over there, we know that transparency is going to be there. There has to be a particular reason why the club contribution or the cash contribution is not getting a matching today. And we from our side, sir, are going to take from 3141, that is your district, is going to take all the possible initiatives to ensure that we lead with an example, so that you could tomorrow say that yes, my district has done this, let others also do the same.
Thank you. Let me just congratulate you, Manish. I know how much you've done for the foundation. I know you're one of the stalwarts. The AKS 18 members is not a small thing, and I take my hat off to you and the team. I believe there is always teamwork, but there has to be someone who says, yeah, I'm taking the lead. And I really thank you and congratulate you for the great work you continue to do for the foundation. Thank you.
So I would just like to add here, in that same year itself, we had our district governor, current district governor nominee, Sandeep Agarwal, doing all efforts to ensure that so many members from Rotary Club of Bombay became Arch Clum Society members. So I would also give all the credit to DG and Sandeep Agarwal for the tremendous work that he did in that year. Finally, as you said, it's teamwork, but it was a great year for all of us. And we believe and we hope that in this year, when you are the trustee, we would like to do much more than that too, despite the economical situation.
So it's not when I'm the trustee, it's when Sunil is the governor, you're the chief coordinator, Sandeep Agarwala is the nominee. And by the way, he was my president when I was governor. So we have a very close relationship. I know that this team that is there is going to do wonders, and I'm looking forward to speaking to all of you on Sunday.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sir, apart from Rotary, you have been involved with many other organizations. Could you let us know something more about beyond Rotary?
Sure. First of all, you must know, Manish, that I don't think any of us should be a full-time Rotarian. You've got to have other things in life. Your family comes first. Your business comes. I mean, you're a doctor, you're a surgeon. You have a beautiful family. I have great respect for your father. I know you all stay together as a joint family. And to me, that's very special. And I always ask you to give my regards to Ramesh Bhai. So please do that when you meet him. But let me come back to the fact that not being a full-time Rotarian, you've got to have other interests. And I am, from the time of college, Manish, I am a believer that we must bring people together. To me, the greatest strength of India is its unity in diversity. And I have done, from the time I was in college, work to ensure that people come together. So when the unfortunate riots took place in 92, 93, I was the district secretary There were many presidents whom, for example, Gopal was the president at that time. And we all worked together to build this whole, bonds between communities. And we really worked hard. And that's when I came into contact with Mr. Julio Ribeiro and then Sheriff of Mumbai, Mr. Khorakiwala. That is Mr. Habil Khorakiwala's father. And he was the Sheriff of Mumbai. And the Mohalla Committee Movement Trust began. And so that to me, even now continues to be a major part of my life, is how we can work to bring communities together. I'm a trustee of the MCMT. And because of my close relationship with Mr. Ribeiro, I also work with him in another trust called the Public Concern for Governance Trust, which believes that there should be good governance, that there should be access to information, the RTI, the right to information is what we promote. And we work with school children, especially in the municipal schools and in the government aided schools, to bring about better values, a better cultural understanding of this great country, and to really imbibe in them the spirit of integrity, of community, of communal harmony, of unity in diversity. So we're working with college students, with school students, and of course we work to ensure that people who need help for RTI, we are there to assist them. I also am involved, but at the periphery right now, because I don't have so much time, with the Mumbai First, which is an organization that's also very, very important. And my passion, and you know what my passion is, I love horses. I've been a rider since I was a childhood, a horse rider, and I used to take part in mounted sports and tent pegging. And as you know, the love for horses is a family tradition. I owned horses, and then now few years ago got involved in the administration. So there is another word for saying, how do you make racing honest? You become a steward. So stewardship is very much a part of me. And so I was a steward, appointed a steward, then I became a committee member, and then I became chairman of the stewards. So for 3 years I functioned as chairman, but in the middle of my 3rd year, I became a trustee of the foundation, and I resigned from the committee as well as chairman of stewards. I am today involved as a member of the Board of Appeal, which is like a higher court, that if the stewards rule against someone, they can go into appeal to the Board of Appeal. So, but my involvement with the race course is very much there. I continue to love the horses. You know, Manish, you've been to the race course. You have been for the various programs. It's 220 acres of open land. It's the only green lung that South and Central Mumbai have. And you should see the number of people who come in the evening to walk, to play. Boys play cricket. They run around. It is the open space that we have. So for me, going on a Sunday or any race day, sitting in that open, beautiful view is like breathing in fresh air, and you get rejuvenated.
So you have been involved with so many organizations at the highest possible level, which would involve a very busy schedule. How do you ease off, relax to ensure you're always pressed for still bigger assignments?
So I mentioned to you that I'm not a full-time Rotarian. I have my other interests, but even besides that, you know, I've always had my family that was very important to me. Now, of course, Hasina is not there, but my son Zamir and Khatija, my daughter-in-law, and my beautiful granddaughter. So we are a family here. I often traveled earlier when the corona was not there. I went to the United States and I was with my daughter. So family is very, very important, and that's to me critical. Apart from that, I look forward to small things for me. Like I've always looked forward to reading relaxation. I love horse racing, so I would love to go for the races. And I have become a great fan of football. I am an English Premier League total fan. I follow the Arsenal club, and on a Saturday and Sunday when the Premier League is on, I am watching my favorite teams play. And so, you know, cricket used to be a great passion with me, but now if you give me a choice and you say Arsenal is playing and you got a cricket match, I'll watch the Arsenal match. But cricket is still important, I must say that.
We truly worship cricket in India, but truly saying, till the time it was the Kapil Dev era, it was great for us. Then came Sachin era, that was still great.
But don't forget, you mentioned everybody, but you didn't mention a great guy called Rahul Dravid. He is still, according to me, one of those
great
outstanding cricketers and gentlemen.
Yeah, he was a gentleman.
I have great respect for him, and I'm sure even today Virat and the team are going to do very well in the IPL or wherever they are. Good luck to them. But please carry on. Thank you.
So first of all, thank you so much for the privilege given to have this interview. It has been a lovely experience with you on the Viz Biz Talks. We would take the liberty of posting these videos to all Rotary clubs, to all Rotarians, to all presidents. Put it on the social media pages of District 3141. Your interview is going to be viewed by all Rotarians and non-Rotarians too. I'm sure this interview will inspire many others to work with Rotary and associate with Rotary for service projects. We would also be showing this interview at the Golden Hearts CSR and Global Grants Conclave on the 19th of September on the virtual platform. Since you're a strong supporter of the work done by Rotary, sir, do support us by passing the message of CSR and Global Grants Conclave to your industry connections to support Rotary and thus support mankind. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you, Manish. It's been a privilege to have this interview with you. I'm very grateful. You've been a great interviewer. And anything I can do for the Rotary Foundation, anything I can do for Rotary District 3141, count on me always.
Thank you,
and have a great day. Thank you.